Thank you for browsing page 121. Today we're going to take a look at Journal of the Traveler's Aide Society number 14. And this one features laws and lawbreakers. How appropriate for traveler, since travelers don't so much skirt the law as they do pants it and run away laughing. So here we have our guys who are committing some kind of crime. This guy's concerned about the guy coming up behind him. All this for $2.50. This is by William Keith. Oh, that cover. That's pretty cool. So inside, we get an inside cover ad for GDW's Great Games Giveaway. Win free games and lucky drawings. Look at that. Prison Planet, The Brotherhood, Traveler Book. Wow, some pretty good ones. And this was all from our good friends at Game Designers Workshop, Bloomington, Illinois. This issue is number 14, Journal of the Traveler's Aide Society. There's our table of contents. And this guy is from 1982. And then we get From the Management by Lauren K. Wiseman. A little quick editorial for us, page and 3/4. And the Traveler is distributed overseas. We get a little knowledge about that. Then we get Just Detected. This is stuff that would be of interest to Traveler players back in 1982. Outpost Gamma game. Grav Armor. I think I remember that one. Star Smuggler, how appropriate. Star Frontiers, of course. I like Star Frontiers. And then play aids would be Rescue on Galatea and Trail of the Sky Raiders by the Keith brothers. And then we get the Traveler News Service starting at 204-1108 and going to 228-1108. I love TNS, Traveler News Service. Casual Encounter, Finger. He's a free trader. Lothario Lachenvar Finger. He's 54. And there you go. You got a nice casual encounter, an NPC you can drop in. And the nice thing about these old books is if you're playing Mongoose first or second, you can just plug these guys in. It's pretty much click and go here. Continuing out our article of that gentleman, we get an ad for the Complete Strategist, Wargame Headquarters for Greater New York. These are a chain of hobby stores on the East Coast. As far as I know, some are still around. TCS Squadron Design. The author is the winner of the TCS tournament held at Gen Con East this summer. So there you go. Okay. And that's continued on page 24. And we have an ad for Cardboard Heroes, approved for use with Traveler by Steve Jackson Games. These have been around for a long, long time. I have a few of these from the GURPS Traveler days. I don't think I have any of the old ones. Steve Jackson Games out of Austin, Texas. Police Forces in Traveler. I remember reading this one, and there was an article in Dragon Magazine somewhere around here for Star Law. These were pretty good. These give you some grounding in police tactics and police force versus your travelers. Mostly NPC stuff, but you can have a little bit of player character involvement if you want. You can play police. And this article is by Lauren Wiseman. Contact the Darians. First time I read about Darians. Kind of Traveler space elves, if you will. If you look at the slightly pointed ear on this gentleman. These were kind of the space elves. I love the Darians. I love how they've grown beyond being elves in space, and they're just humans. Continuing out our article by Roger E. Moore about the Darians. High Justice. And this is for when you get caught in Traveler. What kind of justice are you going to suffer? Mongoose 2nd does a really good job of covering what happens when you get caught and imprisoned and such in Traveler. And articles like this can really help you flesh stuff out for your game. Finishing out our article, we have Milcon Simu Systems from Smithfield, North Carolina. And these guys offer GDW and other major companies at discount prices. There you go, another ad for Complete Strategist, where no woman has gone before. Wow. Equal Rights Amendment and women's liberation in general. Wow, this is an old article. And then continuing on, our article on where no woman has gone before. We go to High Guard, optional rules. There were a lot of different optional rules for High Guard in various magazines and publications. We had a couple house rules too. I'd have to really boil down on High Guard to remember some of those. But High Guard had a lot to represent it, but it did need a little tweak here and there. And then we have an ad for Grav Ball. And this Grav Ball is brought to us by FASA, Fredonia Aerospace Administration. Grav Ball was one of their original games. And then we have Our Friends the Aliens by Sir John M. Morrison. So there we go. It's about hivers and their language. Light Patrol Vehicle. There you go for Traveler. I like that. Light APC, Armored Personnel Carrier. If you have to get your folks in there to break up some kind of local problem, the Light APC may be your answer. Another ad for the Complete Strategist. Civilian Striker Vehicles. Oh, that's kind of neat. I didn't remember this article. So automobiles and Striker. That's pretty good. I'm trying to remember if we used this because we were playing a lot of Striker in '82. I don't remember this. But continuing out, our fine article by J. Andrew Keith, totally revealing a RuneQuest adventure troll pack. Everything about trolls. And this comes to us from Chaosium in Albany, California. Aces and Eights. It's an Amber Zone, a small adventure for you to plug in. One nice thing about Traveler Adventures is they are often springboards for other adventures in the game. I have had one-page Traveler idea go multiple nights just because I thought of other things to connect to it. That's true for any role-playing game, I guess, but I like this. Gentleman's not too happy with the way the game is going. Okay, and then we have Smadle Swarms. I took a look at Smadle Swarms in the new JTAS, so this is the original article on Smadle Swarms, and also known as Smates. Out of the ashes of High Passage rises a new and better magazine devoted to the serious Traveler player, Far Traveler. Far Traveler spots a specific world in each issue. I did like that. Far Traveler only went, I think, 2 issues, unfortunately. This is FASA out of Chicago, Illinois. Don't hold me to that. I have looked at Far Traveler on the channel. I just don't remember off the top of my head how many issues it went. I think it went 2. And then we finish out our article there on Smadle Swarms, and we have Adventure Class Ships, Volume 2, FASA. I love these deck plans. I got these off my buddy, my original Traveler buddy. I bought them off of him back in '82 or '83, and I've only ever seen these on the shelf one time, and that was an old hobby store that closed probably in '85, and it was a place I didn't go to much, but he had a bunch of these on the shelf when I was working at a place near it in about '84. That was in beautiful Matson, Illinois, or Matteson, Illinois. Reinforcements have arrived. Military and civilian vehicles now available from Marshall Metals, Cedar Park, Texas. Don't have any of those. Striker variant, Foxhound. Well, that's kind of cool. Little Striker variant. I like that you can, a lot of these articles dive into the various games that GDW had out at the time. Continuing out our dogfighting. And we take a look at next issue. Aide, Mark Miller examines the heavily populated world in the Solomani Rim. Malfunction, what happens when your drives fail, and how do you repair them? Plus, contact the bestiary, ship's locker, etc. That's going to be issue 15. And then we're finishing out Workshop News. Or this is Workshop News, rather. What's going on with Games Workshop? Come visit the future. Game Designers Workshop. I said Games Workshop. That's wrong. Game Designers Workshop. Let's not confuse the two. Game Designers Workshop. Ad here. Come visit the future in Bloomington, Illinois. I was in their offices once. Just once. Universe 3 from Central Texas Computing Incorporated of Austin, Texas, a computer-moderated correspondence game in which each player commands a starship entering a new universe. Well, that's pretty cool. So that's it. That's all you got for your 250. This is a pretty good issue. I like JTAS. I loved this magazine when it was out, and of course on issue what would have been 25, it became Challenge Magazine. I loved Challenge. That went to about issue 77, 78, something like that, when Game Designers Workshop folded in 96 or so. we're coming up. Wow, we're coming up on the 30th anniversary of when GDW closed their doors. That's kind of sad. But there you have it. That's just a quick look at Journal of Travelers Aide Society number 14, Laws and Lawbreakers. I like this issue. I really enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought. Leave comments below. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Tell your friends. Let's keep growing the channel. Also, please take a look at the Patreon. See if you can help me out there. But that's all I've got today on page 121. I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.